Hey guys, how are you? I am so excited to be on here. Hopefully, all of you in the lab are enjoying your time after we just finished up this unprecedented tax season. I know some of us are still not done. We still have our remaining states to do, we still have our extensions to do, we still have our amendments to do, and we still have a lot of cleanup to do probably in the office as we wrap up our 2021 tax season. But as we wrap up, now is the time for us to start thinking about next tax season. And if you all are anything like me, every time I finish up a tax season, I sit and I write notes as to what went well and what didn't go so well. So if you haven't already done that, then I need for each and every one of you to take a moment, take an hour, take some time to think about what worked for you great during this tax season, and then what did not work so great for you during this tax season. The one thing that I know was a bottleneck for so many of you, and I say this because I started having individuals reach out to me for help in the middle of tax season, and that was working in a virtual environment. Now, it's not easy for all of us to actually work in a virtual environment because we are so accustomed to the touching and the feeling and the communication and the office camaraderie. But see, for myself, I've been working virtual for some time. Yes, I have actually, you guys, I was working in a tower. I was on the 14th floor, and I remember getting a notice that they were going to revamp the entire 14th floor. And so that meant I had to look for new office space. At the time, I did not want to invest additional overhead or additional expenses into office space, and so I decided to move back into the home. When I moved back in the home, it was only supposed to be for 1 year, and 1 year, 2 years max, to be honest. And I said, let me see how this is actually going to flow, working with clients coming into the home. Now, at first I thought it was going to be a huge obstacle. And you guys know what I mean, like having any and everybody in and out of your home. But I had to do it in such a way that it was conducive for me. It worked for me. So when I originally started working from home, I would send out every single year. I would send out appointment cards to all of my clients. I did this, number one, because I had a job at the time. I did this, number two, because I needed some organization, and I didn't want what I see in some of these other tax offices where there's lines of people waiting in line to get their taxes done. That was definitely not going to happen in my home. So I sent out appointment cards, which would allow me to have that flexibility to schedule when my clients would come in to see me. Keep in mind, the vast majority of my clients were not in the state of California where I reside. They were outside, they were globally, so that helped. So for my clients that were not within the state of California, and I knew that they were not going to demand to come into the office to see me, I would send out appointment cards for those individuals, and I would just spread it out throughout the tax season so that everyone would have their tax documents into me by Wednesday night. Now that was for my clients that was out of state. That would allow me time to come in after work on Thursday night, Friday night, and the weekend to complete those returns for my out-of-state clients. However, I still had my clients that were here in town and my clients that were here in the state of California. So for my clients that I knew that wanted to see me face to face, I would send appointment cards, and a lot of times what I would do is Fridays, because I didn't work on Fridays, I would have appointments on Fridays. I would have appointments on Saturdays starting at 9:30 in the morning up until 4:30. And then on Sundays, I would have appointments from 11 to 3. Now, granted, some Sundays I would take off because I would use that as my catch-up time to work on my clients who had sent information in. So for me, working virtual for all these years was a simple cinch. But for those of you who had to convert due to pandemic to working virtually, I understand that it became a bottleneck for some of you. So I want to share 3 tips with all of you that can help you increase the efficiency in your office. That will also help with the workflow, help with the onboarding, so that next tax season, if you suffered or had any problems with working virtually, hopefully it can be a lot smoother for you. So the first thing we need to do is to ensure that, number one, you guys, you have systems in place. Those systems need to be tight, they need to be documented, and most people in the office need to be trained on the systems. I didn't say everybody, because everybody doesn't play, everybody plays a role, but everybody doesn't need to know the systems. So in our office, we have what we call an onboarding process. And hopefully you guys have an onboarding process, an onboarding workflow that everybody that's critical in the process understands. From the time the client calls your office inquiring about your services, to the time that your client leaves with their final documents. Now, some of our clients don't leave because some of our clients are bookkeeping clients, some of them are CFO clients, and some are, clients that we talk to on a regular basis. But we definitely want to have a system in place for properly onboarding our clients and properly offboarding our clients. When we onboard our clients, and I'm telling you guys this because now is the time to shift and look at what did not go right this past season. Also, now's the time to shift as we work throughout the rest of the year, because we still have clients that are going to come in for extensions. We have our clients that are going to come in for, they did not have their taxes prepared at all this year. So we still have to always work on process improvements. So your workflow should be something like this. And it's not set in stone what I'm about to say, because I don't have my flow chart here in front of me. But from the time the client calls, you want to have a system in place so that you, not necessarily you, but someone on your team can either facilitate onboarding those individuals, or you can send them directly to your onboarding site and they can onboard themselves. It is important that we make sure that we communicate along the way with our clients what our expectations are. If we send them to the portal, we need to ensure that they complete the questionnaire in its entirety. We need to stipulate to them that if they forget about anything, if they omit anything, if they don't upload all of the pertinent documents, then it's going to cause a backlog with the process. You need to also communicate with them that if they don't have all documents, then you can't start on the return. Once you have everything that you need uploaded to your portal, then you need to ensure that an engagement letter goes out to them. And if you don't have an engagement letter, now's the time of the year to begin working on an engagement letter and implementing it into your system, your portal, or whatever system you use, so that next season you're ready to go. That engagement letter needs to have a lot of information in there, letting your clients know what to expect, what services you are offering, how they are to pay, what happens if you don't have all of the documents. It also needs to state in there that this is a tax return that you are preparing based on the information that they provide you. You're not making any assumptions on there. You're not doing any what if statements on there. You're not saying, what if I don't carry this child, or what if I carry that child? You're letting them know that you are preparing the return based upon the information that they provided. You also need to stipulate in writing to them that this is for tax preparation. It is not for an audit. It does not include bookkeeping. It does not include tax planning. It does not include tax resolution. It does not include any of that. Now, I'm not saying that you don't offer that to them, but if you do, you need to ensure as the preparer that you are charging the correct amount for that. Everything has a price attached to it in the event that they need those services. Don't turn them down, but make sure all of that information is stipulated in the engagement letter. You next want to make sure that you are collecting a fee. Here's where a lot of preparers mess up, and especially our new preparers. Once you've been in the game for a while, you know you got to collect something up front, because here's the thing, y'all. If you haven't experienced it, you're going to experience it. There's going to come a time when you prepare a return and someone says, give me back my documents. I want to go elsewhere. Well, guess what? Give them back their documents. But you know what? If you've already collected a deposit or you've collected the fee, the vast majority of the fee in advance, then guess what? They're probably just going to complain and be a little bit upset, but some will ask for their money back. And if they do, you give them their money back. I'm like this, all money ain't good money. You know what I'm saying? But I don't just arbitrarily just say, okay, here's the money back. There's got to be some reasoning as to why they want their money back. If they say they went down the street and such can get them $2,000 more, you know, and it's usually something that's unethical, then I'm like, here, take it. If you want to be unethical, then there's your money back and there's all your documents back. But you guys get my point. Just make sure that you have your systems in place. The second thing that I need for you guys to ensure that you evaluate as we go through our downtime is to make sure that you look at your software. The second thing that I heard a lot of complaints about this past tax season is my tax software does not allow me to do corporate returns. If you all are in business to do income tax returns, why limit yourself to just doing quote unquote easy returns? Okay, there's no such thing as an easy return. It is, but it isn't, if you guys know what I mean. You need to make sure that you have adequate software that's user friendly, that will allow you to do 1040s, partnerships, nonprofit returns, S Corp, C Corp. You need something that will allow you to capture W-2s and 1099s. Now, that's what I do, and that's what I've always done. So now is the time to shop around and make sure that you are working with a software provider that meets your needs. Okay, one that will allow you to have access to all of those returns that I just shared with you, and a software provider that is not charging a per fee per return. Okay, if you need to get any of your continuing education credits out of the way, make sure that you do that now versus later. And I'm not saying right now in the moment, take some time off, you guys, but you know, in the late summer, start making sure that you are looking into courses that will allow you to complete your continuing education. All right, so I gave you guys a few things. I don't want to sound like I'm rambling, but I want to make sure that you have your systems in place. I want to make sure that you guys take some time now in our downtime, in our down season, to look at what went right and what went wrong. You have to take the time to evaluate what did not go correctly. And if you did not make your sales goals, why did not you hit those goals? Was it that you didn't market to your correct client? Was it your messaging? Was it that you did not know who to market to? Those are some of the things that you need to consider as well. So again, systems, look at your software, look at your continuing education as a few things that you guys want to look at in your downtime now. All right, listen guys, I am hosting a webinar. I gave you guys just a snippet just right now. In the webinar, which is Saturday, June 5th, it is a two-part webinar. Day one is talking all about our mental mindset. What is preventing us from excelling to making six figures every single quarter? You guys, six figures every single quarter sounds hard, but it is not hard. It's only about what we think about up here. So we're going to be talking about that money mindset. What is preventing you from moving forward? Looking at who we should be servicing, how can we service them so that we are bringing in six-figure quarters each and every quarter consistently, okay? I can't remember a quarter when I have not brought in six figures in a quarter, but I'm going to tell you guys, it's not just about preparing income tax returns. You have to be creative, you have to think outside the box, and you have to do other things to help you scale grow, and leverage in your business. All right. So again, day one is all about the mental mindset, identifying who we should be working with. How do we work with those individuals? How do we scale? How do we grow? And how do we leverage? There will also be an opportunity for someone that's in the webinar to take advantage of the hot seat, where I will go through 30 minutes with someone. I will pick them a hot seat on a hot topic that's going on in their organization, and then you guys will hear feedback from some of the people that I've had an opportunity to work with. So it's 5 hours, June 5th. We start at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and we go to about 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and then there is a bonus day for anyone. Oops, sorry about that. I tried to do this outside, and so I knew that I was going to get some noise. But then we go day 2 for anyone who's interested in joining me for the bonus day, where I will be piling it on and giving you guys more information. All right, all you got to do to register for the webinar is click the link in the thread. The link is bit.ly/cash in at home. Cash in at home. Everything is case sensitive, so make sure the C is capital, the I is capital, the A is capital, and home is capital. All right, I can't wait to see you guys in the webinar. In the meantime, leave me a comment below as to what you thought about what I said today. If there's anything that's really holding you back from growing in your organization, let us know. Let's have a conversation. I want to get intimate with you guys and start having these weekly conversations, these bi-daily conversations, or every other day. All right, love you guys. Have a great one. Take care. Bye-bye.